Not everyone can be a creative captain of industry, but these games will definitely help you pretend. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Tycoon games.
Compañeros, there has been a recent development in our foreign policy.
For this list, we've selected the best titles that place construction and/or resource management at the game's core. So, if you're looking for games with creative emphasis, but lack the mogul elements to make it onto this list, be sure to check out our other video for the top 10 creation games.
Staff announcement, incoming patients with bloaty head.
Number 10, Game Dev Story. Initially released in 1997, Game Dev Story was given a reimagining for the smartphone generation and released for the iOS and Android operating systems. In this game, players are given control of their own development company that they're tasked with expanding into a Nintendo-esque powerhouse. Following a timeline that parallels the real video game industry, this Tycoon title is loaded with historical allusions and witty references that are sure to put a smile on the faces of hardcore gaming enthusiasts. We could have given this spot to the newer Game Dev Tycoon, but this one's still better. Number 9, Tropico series. Set in the Caribbean during the Cold War, the Tropico series puts players in the role of El Presidente, aka chief ruler of a Banana Republic-esque island where everything built, destroyed, and regulated is your handiwork. A CMS at heart, these games are often comically referred to as dictatorship simulators for their strikingly similar designs to political figures and factions that are maybe a little too on the nose with their real-life counterparts. Nevertheless, the Tropico series has been praised for its creative and real-time strategic aspects, bearing a total of 5 official games, each with their own innovative features and expansion packs. Number 8, Caesar series. Rome wasn't built in a day, and the players of these games will attest to that fact. Similarly to other city-building titles, Caesar gives players absolute control as the chief builder and overseer of one of Rome's ancient provinces. However, unlike other games in the subgenre, Caesar also puts players in charge of several non-city planning aspects, meant to add additional factional and strategic burdens in-game, including defense budgeting and diplomacy. While we applaud Imperium Romanum for their efforts, our standing ovation goes to Sierra Entertainment for their extensively researched illustrations of Roman architecture and culture, resulting in a more vivid and historically accurate gaming experience. Number 7, Zoo Tycoon series. With the straightforward goal of creating a profitable zoo, the tycooning for these games comes in the form of players building exhibits appropriate to specific animals, keeping them tamed and happy, and maintaining visitor satisfaction. With both principal games spawning an above-average number of expansion packs, Zoo Tycoon has allowed players to see, secure, and train the whole 9 yards of the food chain, everything from endangered creatures to marine mammals and even dinosaurs. If it walks or has walked the earth at some point, Zoo Tycoon has beautifully digitized them for gamers to make like John Hammond with. Spared no expense. Number 6, the movies.
Action!
Okay, for those of you who have seen the sister video for this list and are thinking, wait, what? Allow us to explain and demonstrate. As you see here, this game isn't just about making movie magic, it's also about expanding and managing the film studios that they're produced in. With that said, the studio supervision side of the movies is just what you'd expect if you were managing a real backlot. This means overseeing the construction of sets, sound stages, practical buildings, and offices. Likewise, you're also in charge of hiring in-studio staff members like screenwriters, designers, stuntmen. I guess you get the picture. Number 5, Cities Skylines. We know what some of you guys might be thinking. Hey, Isn't this game basically SimCity? Well, yes and no.
Tell us what you want and what you need from this game, and we'll try to do everything we can to make it happen.
While certainly inspired by the Maxis franchise, and by that we mean the flack its 2013 reboot received, Cities Skylines still offers enough visual and gameplay differentiation that labeling it as a copycat would be totally unfair.
And this is driven by passion as we try to bring the kind of games we loved growing up to a new generation of gamers.
Designed by the creators of Cities in Motion, this game aims to pressure players with a hyper-realistic in-game experience. This means throwing real-life snafus that you'd expect from a real running city, from heavy traffic to crime control to... Okay, so it's SimCity minus the disasters and pop-up graphics, but it's still really good. Number 4, Prison Architect. A top-down 2D CMS, this game tasks players with managing various aspects of a prison. As its name suggests, this means doing everything from building cells, blocks, and other facilities you'd expect to find if you were in the joint. However, the grind doesn't stop with designing, as you're also put in charge of hiring staff, determining inmate schedules, and assuring the overall quality of the prison through minimized prison escape pods and potential riots. We tip our hats to Prison Tycoon for originating this concept. However, we're ruling in favor of Prison Architect for reimagining it with a less is more approach for the smartphone generation. Number 3, Railroad Tycoon series. Though the premise sounds a bit simple on a superficial level, the actual gameplay and objectives of this game puts your mind in strategic thinking mode just as well as any other game on this list.
The heartache and the pain has surely changed.
Putting aside the obvious building of tracks and stations, the Railroad Tycoon games also have the player scheduling train departures to maximize profitability, scanning for safe and usable routes, and completing construction contracts within time constraints. With 4 games under the series' belt, including a collaboration with Sid Meier of Civilization fame, Railroad Tycoon is far from a laughable concept, and is appreciated by aspiring transport magnates and strategy aficionados everywhere. Number 2, Rollercoaster Tycoon series. Conceived by programmer Chris Sawyer, Rollercoaster Tycoon was every theme park enthusiast's ultimate escape without having to leave home, giving them the chance to engineer their own original amusement parks, rides, and of course, roller coasters. Then, when they were done being a business mogul, they could also create the world's most enjoyable death traps. Reaching record-breaking heights in terms of sales and critical reception, the initial 2 titles in this series spawned numerous popular expansion packs based on real parks across the globe. When the Atari-developed sequel, popularly dubbed RCT3, was released, it came with special innovations that boosted prominence in sales, including realistic physics, pyrotechnic show designing, and finally letting players ride their own creations. Before we top off with our number 1 pick, let's have a look at some honorable mentions. Number 1, SimCity series. As the first title that began gamers' love affairs with resource management games and, of course, The Sims, this city-building series established and remains the gold standard for CMS games and their subgenres to follow. Bearing new features and industry firsts with each subsequent title, SimCity placed players in the roles of mayor, financier, architect, city planner, and, well, the list goes on. Though its reboot has built a reputation for being the phantom menace of the series, there's no denying the heights that SimCity has reached is higher than any other tycoon-based game in the world. Dream it, build it, own it. Do you agree with our list? Which tycoon game has you aspiring to be the ultimate business magnate? For more big shot top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.